You're listening to the Flooring Company Marketing Podcast, a podcast dedicated to helping your service-based business grow and thrive using the latest technology in internet marketing. And now, here's the host of our show and the CEO of Grow Inc., Matt Law.
All right, everyone, welcome back to another training episode. Matt Law here with Grow Inc. We are glad you're here today as we talk about video marketing and how to stand out on Meta and YouTube. We're really going to be talking about ads, so you'll find it very, very helpful. Remember, this is a training series, and in it, we encourage everyone to start with episode 1, listen in order, start with the 4-step marketing formula, unique selling points, platforms and offers, the marketing arsenal, marketing automation, and go through, because in here, everything we see work in service businesses, we create a episode for. And now there's some bonus episodes in here as well, which I share stories, or I am going to do some interviews with some clients and just talk about their story, anything to kind of encourage, inspire, or just give you some tips on how to win in business. There are bonus episodes, but you'll see those clearly marked. But everything else that has a title like this one is going to be deep dive training into how to win in marketing. So I encourage you to go back to the beginning, go all the way through, and I think you'll find it very, very helpful. A little bit about myself. My name, again, is Matt Law. I am the co-founder and CEO of Grow Inc. We are a marketing partnership type of company, consultancy, that work exclusively with service-based businesses. At the time of this recording, now I'm 48 years old. I've got a lot of gray hair, about to be 49. And I've been doing Google marketing since 2001, SEO. We owned a mortgage business as my first service business. Actually, even before that, I owned an e-commerce business where we sold stuff on eBay. And, I think with most entrepreneurs, we've had businesses since we were kids, right? I was selling candy at school as a kid. So we've been entrepreneurs all of our life, but my first business that was legitimately successful, we owned a large online, mostly mortgage business, and we were a correspondent lender. We would package up the loans and we would sell them to the bank, and it was a great business until 2007 when everything fell apart. Through that, I found my passion never was doing mortgages. My passion was growing that mortgage business. And so I really found my love for business, my love for marketing, especially digital marketing. And so I've been doing Google ads. It's hard to imagine, 25 years now, which is crazy to think about that. Over the years, I've probably consulted, it's hard to know for sure, over 200 clients, but then I also had guys I trained in our training company that I also helped them with their clients. So some small companies, startups, companies that were doing hundreds of millions of dollars in e-commerce. And a few years ago, we founded a company called Grow Inc. You're listening to our podcast. Our job with Grow Inc. and our passion was to focus on service businesses. And so that's what we have been doing. Over the last couple of years, we've had clients grow by as much as 500%. I'm going to have them on the podcast here pretty soon so you can hear their story. Last year, we had new clients grow from anywhere from 40% to 100%. All of our clients did see strong growth last year. So year over year growth, they saw substantial growth. And all of our existing clients continued to grow. So we're very, very pleased with what we've built, what we're doing, our technology. We have great relationships with our clients. So anyway, just to give you a little bit about us. So in this episode, we're going to talk about video marketing. And really, we're going to talk about the advertising side. So this isn't, hey, how to go viral on YouTube. Nope, we're not going to do that. Most of you listening to this, you probably got 100 followers on your Facebook and Instagram accounts. Probably don't have anybody following your YouTube channel, or very, very few people following that. So the goal isn't to, go hire somebody to go viral. Going viral in your local market isn't going to help anyway, really. I mean, it wouldn't be local when something goes viral. It's usually, global. So I'm not here to tell you to make a bunch of videos. I'm not here to tell you that you need a lot. I don't even think you actually have to make the videos. I want you to understand how to take video ads, make them, and get in front of the right audience on Meta, which is Instagram and Facebook, and on YouTube. So creating a ton of content isn't going to help you, right? But the right video ad seen by the right people, your target audience, can really drive sales. So this is a little bit different as we jump in. Usually we talk about measurable marketing. Like everything we do with marketing, you got to be able to measure it. And you can measure video marketing, but it's a little bit different. And I want to explain at the end to make sure we understand how to track it. But the marketing that you do with video also has to do with repetition to the right audience. And so you may run a video ad to somebody in your target audience, and I'll get into audiences here in a moment, and they may not buy right away. But after 2 or 3 or 4 videos, what you'll find is they'll end up searching for you on Google, and I'll explain how you can measure video marketing, even though it may not seem like it's working right away. So let's start off by answering some questions. So why does video ad marketing matter for businesses like yours? So if you compare video to like a static image, like a banner image, video grabs attention so much faster than a static image. One of the things we do for our clients is we use video on their website. So usually there's a video in the header. There's a little actor person at the bottom right-hand side of their screen. You can see it at grow.inc, our website. The little actor, that's called a walk-on video. And those videos, they get lots of plays. People love to click on those and hear their story. We use a video over a form. It says, hey, here's what happens if you fill out this form. All of those things drive engagement. And so when people are scrolling and they are scrolling through Meta, video engages. And obviously shorts on YouTube, reels on Meta, which is Instagram and Facebook, those are getting a lot more popular. And so people will go into, these platforms, and next thing you know, they see something interested and they keep watching reel after reel after reel. It sucks them in. And so what's cool about doing ads in this is that these platforms can find the right people for you to target, and you can get in front of them and share value and trust super fast. You can also adjust how much you want to target them, how many times you want them to see these ads. So it gives you huge local reach, more. I hope you understand this. So much more than doing a television ad. Back in the day, you have to do a television ad to reach your audience. But here's the thing, with precision targeting, you can create a video and reach a specific target. These are people, for example, maybe it's someone that has recently moved. You're like, hey, they just moved. They may need our services. People in specific zip codes. So you may say, well, if I use this zip code, man, those are the highest, nicest homes. You could target them. You can also target with specific interests, like if they are interested in just about any service business out there, like if they're interested in plumbing or roofing or air conditioning or pools or doing gutters. Like there's so many things that you could say, hey, they are in the market for. The best thing I want to add is you can also target people who are part of your audience. So it could be your customers, people that are in your database that have done business with you, people who have visited your website in the last 100 days. So video marketing allows you to focus very strategic targeting, put a video together, and get your message across very, very quickly. So where do you run these video ads? So the first place would be on Meta, right? Then obviously there's other places, but we're going to talk about what matters most. So Meta is Facebook and Instagram. And so we're not talking about going into your account and creating reels. We're talking about the ads platform. And basically in the ads platform, you will upload this short video ad and you can select where you want it to go. So this will be in the feeds, it will go into stories and reels. And basically these ads that you will create, you can select where you want them to go, and then you connect with an audience you want to engage with. And so in your audience, obviously you could pick the things that I just talked about, people that are interested in a specific service, or people in a zip code, men, women, income, demographics, all of that. But one thing I like about Meta platforms is that you can retarget. So you can make a video ad campaign just for your customers. And so if you're sending out mailers to customers, I'll give you an example. Let's say you got 1,000 customers, you're sending out mailers every month. You're probably spending $500 or more, and that would be for a cheap little, postcard mailer. But you're spending a lot of money to follow up with those customers. You could actually target those by uploading your customer list, letting Meta find them on these social media channels, and allowing them to see your videos. You'd literally have probably 10 times the amount of impressions and reach to those customers for so much less money. So it's very, very impactful to run ads on Meta. The other place is YouTube, and this is also done through the Google ad platform. Basically, you can do, in-stream ads that start before a video plays or during. That you can, add YouTube short ads, which is great for like mobile users and people on their device. But it's great is that you can also select an audience on YouTube as well. So you could say, hey, it's people that have visited my website, our customers, or people who are interested in this service here, people that have recently moved. So both with Meta and YouTube, just on those two channels alone, you can reach so many people. What's great about both of these platforms is you could have the same people on, the same audience, but they're on the two different platforms, and they could see your ad on YouTube. They could go over to Instagram or Facebook. They could see a different ad or the same ad if you wanted to. They could see that. It's like, man, how are they connected? And it could all be through your tracking pixel on your website. So I want to talk a little bit about the different types of video ads that work best. And before we close out here, we're going to give you some details on how to do, this and what some hacks are to get your videos done. So a couple of great video ads is like a quick brand intro. Hey, here's who we are. Here's what we offer. And it's like, hey, here we are. And those are good for like a quick, 15-second. Here's where we're at. And those are one that you're going to do repetitive. Obviously, you want a call to action, request a quote on all of that. You want them to click over to your website. But that's a good, especially if you're going to do a series of ads. So another one you can do is the problem and the solution. So what's the pain? Hey, are you tired of this? Things happening like this? Remember, depending on your audience is going to depend on the ad. But if they are obviously if it's your customer database, you're targeting them, it's trying to get them to come back, right? If it's somebody who's been on your website and they haven't converted, which you can do, you basically want to say, hey, this, come back, get your quote, finish your quote. So there's a lot of types of the type of video you will do will depend on the audience, obviously. So problem and solution, you talk about the negative and then you offer the positive. So you can talk about, hey, most companies do this, but did you know we stand behind our work for X amount of time? So comparison. One cool thing is if you do like project work where there is a noticeable before and after, you can show the before and then you can show the after with a talking head person going through. Sometimes people are interested in doing testimonials. If you're doing lots of different videos on a campaign and you're going to target that person multiple times, that's another way. I also like doing like special promotional offers where if you can get a specific service that you offer for a certain dollar amount, and it's like, hey, you can still make money on it, but it's going to get your phone to ring, then you can run a special offer, which is usually more price driven. Like, hey, we're running a special sale on this, get this for this much money for a limited time. And those are ads. Now, keep in mind, when you create a campaign, you can upload multiple ads, and then, based on the objective. So sometimes the objective is going to be for impressions, like, hey, I want to get the most impressions, or sometimes it's going to be for conversions or actions or clicks. Each platform is a little bit different. So you got YouTube that's got, how many impressions are you trying to target? How many will you do, per week, per month? Same with Meta. Is it you trying to get clicks? Or are you just trying to get reach? And then you're identifying your audience. So lots of different types of ads depending on the objective on the campaign. A couple things I want to share about effective video ad creatives and tips if you're working on this. First of all, you've got about 3 seconds to engage them. And I'm not talking about trying to make a creative video of like, a professional actor. I'm talking about you have 3 seconds to tell the story. And if you're a service business, you want to be in front of the service that's happening. So I'll give you an example. If it's a pool builder, they would be in front of a pool builder. If it's a plumber, they'd be in front of a hot water heater. If it's a roofer, they'd be in front of someone putting a roof on. Like that would be the background or the B-roll that would fly across. You have 3 seconds to engage them on what you do to get them to watch and listen. Second thing is keep it short. So we run in anywhere from 15 to 30 seconds on videos. Like a lot of times the Meta will cut them down to 15 and they say that's the ideal. You want enough to share your information and to call them. If you're doing videos that can't be skipped in like YouTube, then you have to keep them under a certain length as well. So the other thing to keep in mind is a lot of people watch, scroll on their phones at night. They're in bed. They're on YouTube. They don't have it playing, so they'll watch on mute. So make sure you add captions. I always suggest that you put a clear call to action, like call, book online, request a quote, something to push people over so they can take a step. And the last kind of tip I want to give you for a video creative is use real people. And I say real people, but you can use AI people. I'll talk to you about that in a moment. But use something that looks real. And you can also use like real B-roll, which is B-roll is just like video of that you have. You don't want anything looking like it's generic or stock. And so a couple, production tips that may help you to get video work done faster. And by the way, I'm not great at video at all. My co-founder and partner, Jeff, he's great at video. He's fantastic and kind of leads us up for our clients. But you can shoot on smartphones. Smartphones now have such great cameras that you don't need heavy production. Like you can use the cinematic view like on an iPhone and it will do fantastic. So get people that are part of your team and they can work. You could do it as well. People, when it's a local business, they are not looking for high production quality. It's the content of it, right? We're used to scrolling through our phones. And so one thing I will tell you, there are some cool AI videos, video creators that you can use. And so we use a tool sometimes called HeyGen. You can look it up. I don't get anything from it, but you can use that. Now, if you just do the HeyGen video, it's going to look cheesy. So what we do is we use that with the voice and the actor sometimes. Then we mix in our B-roll, which is other parts, which has got edits to show like the project that we're working on. Then there's a captioning thing that I don't really know how it works that Jeff does, which makes it into an awesome 15, 30-second video that we can use, and we can knock these out really, really fast. So you can check out Hey Gen. You may have to get someone that does a video editing or something like that and mixes in music and captchas, and it spits out a fantastic video, which it still takes us time, but not as much time. We also sometimes just shoot video ourselves for them as well. And it works, guys. And so one thing is, in your video, it doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be perfection. It needs to be clear, and it should feel real, and it should beat out boring. And so if you, like Matt, I stink at all this, you can find someone on Facebook Marketplace to do some video editing, post on your, social media channel. Hey, I need someone local to help me with some video. People are going to reach out and say, hey, I'm happy to help you. So a couple of other tips here before we wrap up. I want to talk about how you can reach the right people. And so one of the things that you have to really measure or target or focus on is your audience. And so find the right audiences. And so in Meta, there's some cool things that you can do. So you could pick just customers, or, if you have a customer list, or just website visitors that have, been tracked through the Meta Pixel. It may be people that are in the market for something. You can do lookalike audiences. Where are you targeting a radius to your business? For most clients, it's about 15 miles. You want to be really, really close. You can run split tests. You can run a call campaign, click campaign, exposure, figure out what works best for your business. So sometimes we'll do clicks. Sometimes we just do exposure to try to get more exposure. You get way more impressions through the exposure campaign, but it seems like when you do the click campaigns, you get more clicks. So there's a lot of different things to kind of consider with that. But you may have one video that you could run for 4 different audiences. And then once you kind of lock in your audience, or figure out what you can do, you can turn on Advantage Plus, which will then find additional people to show your ad to. So there's a lot that when you build these audiences, it's probably one of the most important steps to making your video convert really well. In YouTube, in the same way, you can find the in-market segments. So like they are in market for your service. You can even create an audience based on what people have searched for. So it's like, hey, this is people that have searched for this recently. So it's taken what they searched for on Google, and now they go to YouTube and they see your ad, which is super cool. So again, tracking pixel on your website, building audiences in Google Ads, and then you can rotate, 3 or 4 ads to avoid, ad fatigue, if you want to call it that. So let's talk as we close out about measuring ROI. And I told you this is a little bit different. So anytime you're getting someone to click over to your website and then they then call tracking metrics or CallRail, whatever call tracking solution you use, we use CallRail. It's going to pick up, hey, this is a call from Google Ads, or this is a call from Meta Ads. So we can measure that. So if they click over and then call, we also want, when you fill out the form, if they are requesting a quote on your website, you want to ask them, how did they hear about you? How did you hear about us? And YouTube, Facebook, Instagram should all be on there. And then go through your rates and see how many people click through, cost per lead. You can go into analytics. You can see bounce rate on ads, things like that. See how things are going for that. But you can really measure the ROI. But here's one thing I want to point out is that a lot of times you are going to see an increase. And this is the thing you really got to look out for. Do you see an increase in the number of searches for your company? And so if you go to your Search Console, which is a tool with Google, it's a free tool, you can see your organic traffic and how it comes. And so do you see an uptick on the number of searches month over month, the number of people that are searching for not, whatever service you do, but for your company name? And here's what I'll tell you. We see a big uptick in the number of leads overall by adding a campaign like this. We also see a big uptick in the number of searches for the company name month over month. So listen, 1 month, they are not running any video ads, right? And they get X number of searches for the company name, X number of clicks to their Google Business Local. Next month, we run YouTube, Facebook, Instagram ads. That number goes way up. It's the number of people searching for the company and then clicking over to the website. So you have to remember too, that organics, it will come through organic, because sometimes people will watch a video and then they go hit the Chrome or Safari or whatever browser, and then they search for you. And then you think, oh, they came from organic, but really they came from video. So you got to look at the number of leads going up as well. Just a couple pitfalls to avoid. Don't run image ads or boring video ads. They just don't convert anyway. Don't try to go viral and make a ton of videos. It's not worth your time. It's not fun. It's a total waste. Don't focus just on retargeting, right? Retargeting is good, but also do customers and also look for, multiple ways to connect with new audiences. So a few questions to wrap up. I just got 2 today, really. So Matt, do all your clients use video ads? Almost everyone does. It's part of our growth campaign. It's part of pay-per-click. It's great for remarketing. So we do all kinds of video. We'll do the little talking head video with the walk-on actor, video over the form, on the banner. But we like to do these for Meta and for YouTube. They're impactful. And I don't think you have to spend a lot of money on it. You could spend maybe $500-600 a month on staying in front of that right audience, and it will pay for itself over that year in jobs, regardless of what the tracking data says. That you are in front of, to be in front of 20,000 people on your video campaign is impactful, especially if it's done over and over again, especially if you're targeting the right audience. Again, you're like, how do I know if it's working? So you got to look at the leads before. You also have to look at Search Console, and you can see how many people search for you. If you go to your Google business profile and you click on like the analytics or the stats button, look at the month that you ran that ad or those video ads. And so you can see, you should see a big jump and the number of people hitting your local profile or the people in Search Console that are searching for you. So overall, video ads are a great big part of growth. It's part of marketing. And so I hope you found today's training helpful and informative. Just a couple of things to remind you, if you're like, Matt, hey, I want to learn more about this 4-step marketing process and what you do. Encourage you to go to www.gro.inc. I know, .inc, right? I thought it was .com. No, it's gro.inc. We are a .inc domain because that's the name of our company. Go there and you can request our free resources. You'll see there's some checklists there. There's our tools, a few things that you'll find very, very helpful. We've got our audio training, but you can get our 4-step marketing blueprint for service businesses. It's in audio format, which is awesome. So you can have it, you can listen to it while you're driving. And then there's some other resources there for you as well. If you're interested in having a conversation or learning how maybe we could partner with you to help you grow your business, you can also fill out an application and schedule some time to chat with us on the phone. That's it for today's training. I appreciate you listening, and I wish you the greatest success in your business. Take care.
Thanks for listening to the podcast today. We hope you found today's episode helpful and informative. For more information about Grow Inc. and to request our free marketing blueprint ebook and other resources, please visit www.grow.inc. That's GRO.inc. We'll catch you in the next episode.